Hello everybody, this is Saberrex coming to you live with my 6th video review for the Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/6 Scale Raptors Series Action Figures by Creative Beast Studio and David Silva. And today we are going to be looking at figure number 10 in the toy line, Pyroraptor olympius. So here we are, there it is, and before we take a look at the figure, let's take a quick look at the packaging for it. So here is the packaging for Pyroraptor olympius. As you can see, the magnified illustration done here is by Jonathan Quo, as is universal for all these figures, save for the Fans' Choice variants, which are done by Sarah Richards. Very nicely done. I love the color scheme for this. There are actually two variants of this. There is the main variant here, which is based on a wedge-tailed eagle in regards to color. And then the second one is based, I think, on a Baltimore Oriole. So it actually looks like it's made of fire with that black and orange color scheme, and it looks really good. And you could actually have them be different genders if you got both versions of Pyroraptor. And again, I really love this. So here you have that. Inside the box is the removable diorama, which you can place behind the figure for added effect. I really like that design for it as well. It's a nice floodplain and just beautifully done with the sunset and the ferns and all that beautiful horizon line with the trees. Just glorious. On the back we have the full body illustration, again by Jonathan Quo. And I really like this one in particular because it shows Pyroraptor standing over a dead dinosaur, which it probably either is scavenging or has brought down. And again, I really like it. It's beautifully done. Here are some facts about the dinosaur itself. And so Pyroraptor gets his due in regards to his facts. And here's the list of figures, not including the Fans' Choice variants, in the toy line. So let's move on to the dinosaur figure itself. So here we have Pyroraptor olympius, the Fire Raider. And for those of you who don't know, this is actually Pod from Dinosaur Planet. Pyroraptor was featured in Discovery Channel's Dinosaur Planet, and of course in that show it was blood red in color in regards to Pod himself. So yeah, I'm just very, very pleased that this figure was included in the toy line, because it was a great way to bring more fame to Pyroraptor. I mean, he got some pretty good fame when he was on Discovery Channel, but at the same time, he deserved a little more. So, again, as I said, he's gorgeously done, and I'm glad they included him in the toy line. Now, in regards to detail on this figure, he does have all 26 points of articulation that are universal to the Beasts of the Mesozoic. He's very, very handsome. I love that head sculpt detail, especially. He does have the same soft plastic, in particular for the wing mold. His wing mold is exactly the same as Velociraptor's, which I think was a pretty cool and very clever idea on saving time and effort. Let's see. He also has, of course, the tail, which can be posed into different sockets, one down here and one right behind the hips, to allow for more dynamic positions. I love the tail in particular, how it goes from that kind of golden brown to a much darker shade as it goes toward the end of the tail here into the fan. And I love the stand as well. It's a nice mix of floodplain meets forest floor type area. And on the underneath, of course, is Pyroraptor's extra set of toes in that hidden compartment where you can peg them in. Now, interestingly enough, my Pyroraptor figure does have a loose his toes are a little bit looser in regard to the weight-bearing toes on this foot. So I'm probably going to replace those with the running toes and put the weight-bearing toes on this foot instead. But for now, they seem to be holding pretty well. Oh, I might be able to tighten that up with like a little bit of nail polish if I put that in the socket, and so that it'll fit just a little bit better. But yeah, it's no big deal. Other than that, I really love the color scheme on this. I love the color scheme on this. It's gorgeous. In particular, I also love the head. And in regards to Pyroraptor, this is a very interesting dinosaur, in part because, along with Balar, which is also in the toy line, it is probably one of only 2 quote-unquote raptors in the toy line, and that are from Europe. Of course, given Balar is a bird, technically it's the only dromaeosaurid in the toy line, but you get the idea. And it's one of the few raptors that is known from Europe in real life, along with Pyroraptor, which may be another specimen of Pyroraptor, and a fragmentary species that is known from the Isle of Wight in Britain. And the Isle of Wight raptor is believed to have been most closely related to Velociraptor, but somewhere on the order of about 20 feet long. Nobody's quite sure, all they have is teeth, but from the teeth they can guess the size is around maybe, again, 20 feet, maybe 800 pounds. Who knows? Nevertheless, it's very cool that they included Pyroraptor in the toy line, and I'm very, very impressed with him. And as I've said, he's absolutely gorgeous. In regards to size, he is, I would say, intermediate in length to the other figures, but he is actually a little bit taller than the rest of them. Yeah, let's compare him with some of these other ones. So here he is with Zenuanlong. Just a sec. There we go. He is actually a little bit taller at the hips than Zenuanlong. Not as tall as the shoulders as the latter, but he does stand a little bit taller at the hip. Maybe a little bit head less given his position, but standing up straight he actually is a little bit taller. Yeah, standing up straight he is taller than Zenuanlong. But in this position he's running in, not so much. But yeah, he is definitely one of the taller figures, if only by less than 1/4 of an inch. In regards to size comparison, here he is with Dromaeosaurus. Dromaeosaurus is actually a little longer, but at the same time, little shorter, particularly at the hip. But yeah, they look good together. Here he is with Balar Bondoc, and Balar is definitely shorter than Pyroraptor is. Here he is with his cousin Atrociraptor, and it is believed that Pyroraptor is a dromaeosaurine. Just put that there, like that. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, he is about a little bit shorter lengthwise than Atrociraptor, but he is actually a little taller overall than Atrociraptor at the hip. And if you notice real closely at Atrociraptor's feet, you can see there's a water splash down there. And that is the other thing I was going to talk about. I did get the accessory packs for the Beasts of the Mesozoic figures, and I will be reviewing them after I finish the last of the first 7 that I obtained as a little intermittent break between Raptors. So, for those of you who might have been asking if I was going to do the accessory packs, yes, I am. So, you all have something to look forward to. But yeah, in regards to Atrociraptor, he is, again, a little bit shorter lengthwise, but a little higher at the hip. And last but not least, here he is with Velociraptor. Now, Velociraptor is definitely longer, but at the same time, Velociraptor is shorter at the hip. So yeah, Pyroraptor is taller than pretty much all these previous figures, which I think is a very cool thing. So there you have that. Now, in regards to the Beast of the Mesozoic, he was actually one of the stretch goals that was reached, and he was actually one of the last of the stretch goals reached. He, yeah, definitely was one of the last of them reached, and I have to say, he was definitely one of my favorites in regards to the genre of raptors that came out, simply because Pyroraptor is, again, famous for being in Dinosaur Planet, and it's such a cool dinosaur, again, because its name means Fire Raider. Nothing's cooler than a dinosaur whose name literally means Fire Raider. But price-wise, on BackerKit and Kickstarter, he was about $35 as opposed to $40, like Velociraptor, Sagon, and Atrociraptor were, so he was a little cheaper. He might be a little bit more now on CreativeBeast.com and yeah, places like Big Bad Toy Store, but again, he is really, really cool. And if you decide to get one of these, if you decide to get Pyroraptor, I would highly recommend getting him, either the Fan's Choice variant or this main variant here, which I am reviewing now, because this is a great dinosaur to add to any collection if you love that. He is definitely one of a kind, and I can't recommend him enough. He's gorgeous. So this is Saberrex signing off, saying, you're never too old to play with toys, don't be afraid to unleash your inner child, and have a good day. Thank you.